that most of the exercises that I do are for people with Parkinson's. But what I'd like to show you today are some exercises for the caregivers of people with Parkinson's. The caregivers very often have to overdo some of the actual movements that they're used to doing because they have to work at it for two people. They're probably the ones that are going to be making the beds and maybe cooking the food and so forth, and their heads are down. You know what that's like. You know, you're working away on the counter or you're working on the bed, and the neck and shoulders start to get a little bit, squinky. For better terminology, I can't come up with anything, but squinky works. And with this, you also have the possible lifting of the person to help them out of their chair, or maybe you're just doing the heavy lifting in the house anymore too. Also, that lower back, again, with that lifting, the lower back can really start to strain, and I'd like to give you some exercises to help with that. The knees assist with a lift. The knees assist with turning. So we'll have a few things for those. And your hands. Your hands are way overused. You may be the one that's doing all of the correspondence. You are probably the one that's doing the gripping of things and picking and lifting. And again, assisting that person with Parkinson's. I'm going to give you two exercises, and I really wish that you could see the cat crawling around on the furniture watching me do this, but you can't. He can, you can't. But the two exercises I'm going to give you, I'll give you one exercise for you to work on and to continue to work on as time goes on. But I'm going to give you a second exercise, and in the Facebook guide, it's going to be in italics, so you'll know that that's the one. And the second one I'm going to give you is something that when you're working at that counter that you can do, or doing something with your knees and your knees are starting to hurt, that you can do instantly and kind of help relieve that pain. So we're going to work on the neck and shoulders with the first one that I call arms akimbo, and there will be photos on the Facebook as well that show me up against the wall doing this, and you can kind of see against this light colored wall. What you're going to do is take your hands and with the palm down and the elbow up on one hand, and take the palm up on the other hand and facing out. Then all you do is change your hands. The upper hand, the palm will be out. The lower hand, the palm will be facing back. Try and keep your arms more or less in a line across. And I would like to see you do this up against the wall, just because then you can touch the wall with your hands and you're going to feel it. And when you do this, do it slowly. Allow your shoulders to turn. You may not be able to go completely forward and back because that's an unusual angle. A lot of people don't use that angle. But if you're doing things and all of a sudden, the shoulders and the back just really hurt, crack the walnut between your shoulder blades. Look straight forward, kind of get yourself up and down, and crack a walnut gently and slowly between your shoulder blades. Probably just one time is going to help you, and you'll just feel better all over. For your lower back, the one to practice would be the knee to the nose, and I'll show you that. I'm kind of sideways. You're going to need, like the kitchen counter would be good because you can put both hands down, or something to hang on to. And I'm going to have my hand out here so that you can see the actual angle, but you'll have your hands down. And you just bring your knee up as you bring your nose down, and then bring your head up and bring your leg back. You say, why is that working my lower back? This stretches it, and then when you do this, you're tightening the glutes and you're tightening the back of the leg. When you do that, you start making a relief on the muscles of the lower back as well as strengthening them. Do it no faster than this, and do it about 8 times on each leg. Now, you're doing something and your lower back is hurting and you've been lifting and you've been moving furniture and you've been helping someone up. What can you do immediately? Well, I'm not going to show you this except in front, but it's crack a walnut again, except you're going to crack crack a walnut with your buttocks. And when you do that, well, I'm going to have to go sideways so that you can see it. When I do this, you're going to see that it pushes my hips forward. As soon as I tighten, as soon as I loosen. As soon as I tighten, as soon as I loosen. And again, the tightening of the glutes works on the lower back, and it actually relieves that. So you can crack a walnut 2 or 3 times in the middle of what you're doing to get a little bit of relief. For your knees, I like the ski exercise, and you're going to have your feet about a foot apart, and then you're going to smash your knees together a little, bend over, and put your hands on your knees, and go around in a circle. Not fast, but you can see the angles that are happening with the knees, and you're going to want to go about 8 times in one direction, 8 times in the other direction. And that really works. Boy, it works everything in here. It works up and down the sides. And for a quick relief, if you're doing something and your knees are kind of hurting, do the back lunge. And when I say the back lunge, stand forward, lunge backward. Don't step forward into a lunge. I want you to stand forward, step backward. When you do that, then you can bend the front knee, stack the knee over the ankle. Don't go forward like that and really extend too far over your foot. It's not good for your knees. But what this does, it actually stretches behind this back knee as this front knee is bent. And you'll do the step back, drop your heel, bend that front knee a little bit, and try and keep your heel down on the back foot as long as you can to stretch behind the knee. And the stretch behind the knee is actually going to be the one that's going to give you a little bit of relief instantly. For your hands, I'm going to have a portable surface here for you, and this shows you just how organized I am. All of these papers smashed into this thing. It's a folder. We're going to do the thumb flip. So put your hand on a flat surface and think just about your thumb, and you just flip and bring it back. Rotate it, and this will actually rotate kind of from the elbow. Even though the wrist is flipping and things, you're actually going to feel that. Think thumb goes over, keep the little pinky down, thumb goes over, thumb comes back. It's amazing that this exercise will actually relax your hands. Now, because you've been curling your hands, the instant relief for this curl and grip that you've been doing is simply to lift the fingers. You can see that as I have my hand down, the palm stays down, the fingers come up. Palm stays down, all the fingers come up. Hold it to about a 3 or 4 count, and then move on and do what you need to do. You'll be able to kind of gauge how much you want out of that. So, join me on Facebook. They won't maybe be in this order, but all of these exercises will be there with other pictures of them. Please feel free to go ahead and copy them and share with your Parkinson's support group if you have them. And if you don't have a Parkinson's support group and you'd like to start one, I believe it's PDF. Parkinson's Disease Foundation has some interesting ways of starting them. You can contact or private message me on Facebook, and I'll send you that information. Join me. And for those of you that did want to see Tat Boy, there he is in his regal glory. He's always so helpful whenever I'm doing my videos.